In today's video, we're diving into 4 bone-chilling true stories about encounters with strangers that will make you think twice the next time you're out in the world. These unsettling tales come straight from real-life experiences and will leave you questioning who you can truly trust. Viewer discretion is advised. These stories are not for the faint-hearted. Story 1. The Night Walker. It was a quiet, moonlit night when Sarah decided to take her dog for a quick walk before bed. The streets were empty, or so she thought. Halfway down the block, she noticed a man in a hoodie standing under a streetlight staring at her. At first, she dismissed it, thinking he might just be waiting for someone. But as she continued walking, she realized he was following her, keeping his distance, but never breaking eye contact. Sarah's heart raced as she turned down a side street, hoping to lose him. When she glanced back, he was gone. But just as she let out a sigh of relief, she heard footsteps, this time faster, closer. She turned around and screamed, startling her dog. The man was running straight at her. Sarah bolted for her house, slamming the door behind her. She looked out the window, but the man was gone. To this day, she's never walked alone at night again. Story 2. The Elevator Stranger. Mike was staying late at work one evening, the last one in the building. As he stepped into the elevator to head home, a man in a suit slipped in just as the doors were closing. The man smiled but said nothing. Mike hit the button for the ground floor, but as the elevator descended, he noticed the man hadn't selected a floor. "Which floor do you need?" Mike asked, his voice slightly nervous. The man smiled wider, his eyes unblinking. "I'm with you," he said softly. The elevator suddenly jolted to a stop between floors. The lights flickered, plunging them into darkness for a moment. When the lights returned, the man was gone. Shaken, Mike reported the incident to security, but they told him the cameras showed no one entering the elevator with him that night. Story 3. The Hitchhiker. Tom and his friends were on a late-night road trip when they saw a man standing on the side of the highway, thumb out asking for a ride. Against their better judgment, they decided to help. The hitchhiker, a scruffy man in his 40s, climbed into the back seat and thanked them repeatedly. But as they drove, his demeanor shifted. He started asking strange questions. "Do you believe in fate?" And "What's the worst thing you've ever done?" The tension in the car was palpable. Tom glanced at his friend in the passenger seat, silently signaling that they needed to get this guy out. As they reached a gas station, Tom offered to stop for a break. The man smiled eerily, saying, "I think I'll get out here." He left without another word, disappearing into the shadows. When they looked back at the back seat, they found a knife lying on the floor. The hitchhiker was never seen again. Story 4. The Shadow in the Window. Lisa had just moved into her new apartment, excited to start fresh. One night, while watching TV, she noticed movement outside her window. At first, she thought it was just a tree swaying in the wind. But as she looked closer, she saw a face. A man's face, pressed against the glass, staring at her. Panicked, she called the police, but when they arrived, the man was gone. Thinking it was a one-time incident, she tried to move on. But the next night, it happened again. This time, she heard tapping on the glass. When the police arrived, they searched the area and found footprints leading to her window. Whoever it was had been standing there, watching her for hours. Lisa moved out the next day, unable to shake the feeling of being watched. These stories remind us that sometimes the scariest monsters aren't the ones in our nightmares. They're the strangers we meet in the real world. If you enjoyed this video and want to hear more chilling tales, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Stay safe out there.